Let's talk a little bit about how to control your DMX. So in the other video, we talked about leaving the lights plugged in all the time. And when the lights are plugged in all the time, it doesn't necessarily mean that the lights are bright or the light is coming out of the light. The light is technically on, but it's not producing any light. And so how do you make all that happen? And the answer is through DMX. And there's essentially two approaches to DMX that you need to consider. The first approach to DMX is to have a dedicated piece of DMX hardware. And you can see a lot of these if you just look for a DMX light board. It'll have lots of different sliders on it and all of the different pieces that you could need for that. And you can go from really cheap ones that you can get on Amazon for like ADJ stuff for $100 all the way up to multi-$1,000 boards that you would see in very large production houses. So you get an idea. There's this full spectrum. So where should the church go? And for us, we made the decision of going with a digital system instead. So you have the physical whiteboards, but you also then have software. Software comes in two particular varieties. The first variety is on a PC or Mac, where you have a piece of software that you would use. And the second one is using an iPad with an app something like this, which is this app is Luminaire. And Luminaire is a great app that would allow you to that allows you to manage and run all your lights. I'll try to take a better reflection there. So this particular piece of software is great, and I'll talk about this in some more detail in another video, but we found a really good setup using this. The one thing to note is that you have to be able to plug into your DMX, and you have your DMX cables, and the DMX cables have to have somewhere to plug. Your very first one has to plug into something, and you have to somehow get the signal from here that is going to your lights to an iPad or a computer or to a board. And the way that you can do it with a board is you just plug right into the back of the board and everything just works. However, if you want to do it with the computer, you have to buy a little box, and it's called a DMX converter. And on one end of the box is a DMX plug. It might be 3-pin, it might be 5-pin, it looks like an XLR jack. And on the other end, you're going to find usually an Ethernet connection, and that Ethernet connection will allow you to plug into your network. And I have been shocked at the different types how many different types are available, and also how easy they are to use. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the bottom in the show notes to what exactly we're using here with respect to those boxes. So I can't unplug it right now because we're using the lights to do this show. But there's some great tools out there, and I would recommend buying a decent, if you're going to go this route, I would recommend spending a little bit of money. I think ours cost between $200 and $300 for that box that will convert DMX to Ethernet, that allows it essentially for you to put your lights onto your church network.